guys, welcome back to another week of sculpture. So this week we are on the second step of our Alebrije here, which is the actual paper mache part. As you can see, as promised, I added cute little arms, a nice leg. He has a good base. He's standing still. And so this week I'm going to teach you the second step, which is actual paper mache. That's when we're going to smooth this out. We're going to give him a nice white covering. And instead of looking like tons of paper balls all taped together, it's going to start to look like one cohesive sculpture. So the very first part of this, I'm going to show you all the supplies you're going to need today. You're going to need, if you're an in-person student, you're going to need a Ziploc bag with a name of yours on it. This will keep all your paper towel pieces that you cut out nice and secure. Whether you need small ones or big ones, all of them are going to go in here, so that way we waste as little as possible. You're also going to need to label a paste cup for yourself. So just your name at the bottom, and we'll go over that as well. And last but not least, you're going to see this around the classroom a lot. This is our paste pitcher. It's the only kitchen pitcher I have in my classroom, and we use it for paper mache paste. And so that is a homemade glue made of just flour and water, and that's it. So really, really fun. Now, usually when you come in the classroom, this guy will be ready for you. You just pick up your supplies, have it by your system, go ahead and pour the paste in, and you're ready to go. Today, I'm gonna show you a worst case scenario first. What happens if you come into the room and the paste pitcher is empty or there's mold in it that we need to throw it away, we need to start over, the whole class is looking around and Mrs. Williams is out talking in the hallway. And you don't wanna wait, you wanna make your paper mache paste and you wanna make it now. The only place I want the paste going when we're mixing it is in here. So don't just make your own personal paste. We don't have enough flour for that. Just put it in here. And you heard me right. That homemade paste is made of flour and water. And that's it. It's just flour and water. So stick with me. I'm going to take you over to the sink and I'm going to show you how we make paper mache paste. Here we go. You're going to need your pitcher to make the paste. You're going to need all-purpose enriched flour. And we are going to first fill her up with some water. So you put her under the sink. Warm water is best because you're going to get your hands in there. And then I'm going to show you. Here we go. So that's about how much water we want at that line there. Next, you're going to take the same size of a water cup and scoop some flour into here. Usually the flour bag already has a flour cup in it, so always check. Put it in there. And then you can do this one of two ways, because obviously we need to mix it. You can mix it with a ruler, or you can mix it with your hands. Today, I'm going to be mixing it with my hands, because that's how I'm feeling. All right. You're mixing it until the water disappears. Sorry, I know this is a little gross sounding. What I'm doing is I am pulling it in, and I'm looking for these little flour balls. I want to crush those. It becomes a nice little game of crushing those flour pebbles. And I'm going all the way in. I'm touching the bottom. There's my fingers. And I'm just bringing them up, and that's how I'm mixing. So this is still really, really watery. You can see that. And we want it about the mixture of pancake batter, so I'm guessing I'm going to need at least 2 to 3 more scoops. Let's start with... And all the flour will just sit there as long as you let it. So you really have to push it down. That's a little bit better. And it's okay. You're not going to get all the flour pebbles out, but when you can see how that is significantly less flour pebbles. And you just crush it. And I know this sounds gross and this looks gross, but I promise it's just flour and water. It's not going to hurt anyone, and it can feel quite relaxing once you do it once or twice. The first time's always a little weird, though. I get it. Nobody wants to mix pancake batter with their hands. All right. Gonna scrape your hands off to the side. Then once you're done, you go over to the sink again. It'll come right off. The trick is doing it right after you've mixed the paste, though. Don't let it sit on your hands too much. Once you are done washing your hands, you'll notice all these flour pebbles at the bottom. Just go ahead and take a paper towel. Push them all to one corner. Pick it up. And then, of course, throw that paper towel away. And that's how you make paper mache, becoming the class hero for the entire day. Now, one pitcher of paper mache paste against the entire class is probably going to last about maybe 2 days. So once every other day. So if we start on Monday with a fresh pitcher, that should last us until maybe Wednesday, but probably Tuesday. And then so Monday and Wednesday we'll have to make a fresh pitcher of paste. And that's normal. That's to be expected. So we are going to go ahead and get started with our paste. So it's Monday morning. I've gotten my paste. I've gotten the right cup. It says Mrs. Williams. It's pretty cleared out. I'm going to pour my paste in. Okay. You can see there, this is way too much. You're not going to need that much today. Pour it back. There we go. This is about how much you need. So that's good. So you do not need to fill it all the way up here. Around here is just fine. The second thing you are going to do, you definitely want to roll up your sleeves for this because this paste is going to get everywhere. Yeah, you can see my sleeves. I've already gotten a nasty little mark. This does come out in the washer totally fine. So don't be afraid. It can be sticky over time on skin though, so make sure you wash your hands really good after you do this. Here we are with my Alebrije and my paste that is only that much full and my paper towel bits. You can do this with newspaper at home. Or paper towel. We're using the cheapest paper towel possible, like just school quality. So anyway, we are going to dunk it and then drape it. Dunk, drape. Okay? So you're going to take this and put it in there, get it all the way wet. There we are. You're going to take 2 fingers and slide down. Awesome. I'm going to do that one more time from this angle. One on either side with your piece going through the middle. Now, right now you can see my piece has a little bit of wrinkles in it. You want to flatten that out. So really stretch it until it's a flat sheet entirely. And then on your Alebrije, I'm going to start with maybe his backside here. You are then going to drape it, like you're covering it with a blanket. And then you're going to use your fingers to smooth it down as much as possible. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Any wrinkle that you make during this process is going to stay on that Alebrije forever. So you never want to have any wrinkles. Eventually we can get them out when we paper mache over the wrinkles, but if you wrinkle over a wrinkle, that's not going to come out. So we're going to take the next piece, and you want to work in the same section every day. So if I'm working on the back, today is going to be back day. If I'm working on the front, today is going to be front day. You don't want to like put one on the back and then be like, oh, I'm going to work on the tail over here. You want to keep it around the same section. So again, you can tell we're going to need a lot of paper towels to layer on top of this. Your first day of paper mache week ever, you may not even get to actual paper mache. It may just be cutting up paper towels. And again, that's pretty normal. You're going to need enough to cover your entire animal, about 3 to 4 times. You're going to need big pieces like this. I wouldn't go any bigger than this though, because you have to unwrinkle every single piece. And the bigger they are, the more wrinkles that come with them. So I wouldn't say any bigger than this, but this is a good size. If you have very, very small parts, let's say my nose up here, you're probably gonna need smaller size, like a stick of gum. And so just cut multiple sizes to what you need, depending how many small parts your Alebrije has. Mine is pretty average. There are big parts, there are little parts. So I included both. But if your animal is pretty thick or doesn't have a lot of small little shapes, then I would mostly stick to that medium size I was showing you guys. And we're flattening it, and we're flattening it. It's like taking your Alebrije to the spa. You're giving it a nice little massage. Because the paste needs to be refrigerated or it will mold, it will. You will need to, it'll be cold when you touch it. It'll be really freezing, actually. The only way you're going to not have freezing fingers is if a student makes a fresh batch for a picture for that day. So you may have warm fingers on Monday and Wednesday, but Tuesday and Thursday they could be frozen because the paste will be coming from the fridge. Got some more. See that there? And you can see the single layer up here versus the double layer. It's already starting to cover that blue tape a little bit more. That's what we want. All right, zooming in on some parts here. And so you really want to make sure the edges of your paper towel, say like this, right here, that they're flattened down as much as possible. When the form bends, like where the arm meets the paper towel, this is where the most wrinkles are probably going to happen, and that's pretty normal there. Just going to be flattening it out, trying to get rid of those wrinkles as much as possible. See that? And there we go. You'll also want to pay attention to where one paper towel meets another paper towel. So this edge right here, this corner, give it some extra love. I may even take some paste on my fingers and just smooth it over, add a little bit more there. I would not panic about if you see these little dust balls of maybe some flour that just got clogged up. Don't worry about those too much. Those will wipe off eventually. Okay, so again, we're taking the paper mache. I'm gonna get from this angle as well. I think that's important. I'm gonna put it right over here. I'm gonna make sure the middle is flat before I go for the edges. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna start from the middle and push that out. Start from the middle, push out. Go down, and the less wrinkles, the better. There we go. Focus on a tricky spot. Let's say I'm trying to do right between the ears here. There's a really narrow spot. It's really hard to get around, if we can see that there. So that's where small pieces like this guy come in handy. Come up here, I'm gonna go right between and smooth that down. There we are. So that's when your smaller pieces come in handy. Let's do another small piece here. I'm gonna go right for this area, right there. There we go. Stand him up. Double check those wrinkles. Let's do another face piece. This is the start to a very messy week. So obviously we want to keep covering and covering, and when the cleanup bell rings, we'll be left with this sopping, very cute, but very messy Alebrije. He will dry usually within 10 to 12 hours or by the next school day. So that's fine. If you're online though, feel free to take a hair dryer to him to speed up the drying process. Okay, so the cleanup bell just rings, and I'm gonna put him on Kermit, the green shelf in my room, or just a cool dry area if you're in sculpture online. And I'm left with this mess. So first, you find all your wet paper towels, all the wet ones, the gross ones. Those get thrown away. The ones that are still dry, you're gonna keep those in your bag. That will also be zipped closed. Here we go. Push out that air. Go put it on Kermit. And last but not least, we have the cup. So we have the cup. What do we do with it? If we pour a gallon of glue down the sink every day, or we go through 2 gallons of glue and we pour that down the sink every single day, my sink is going to die, and I don't want that to happen. So your paste is not going down my sink. The leftover paste, due to COVID-19, we don't want to spread germs. If you make a big batch of this and you're an online student, feel free to keep it in your fridge if your mom is so patient with you. However, if you're in person and you're in class with me, this paste not going down my sink. So it goes in the trash. Next, I want you to take a little bit of paper towel and just go through, wipe out that excess. Mine is blue because there was just a little bit of marker or watercolor at the end of this cup. Wipe it out as much as you can, just with a little paper towel bowl. Ooh, making a mess here. Who knew? Okay. Until it's mostly empty. Throw that away. Now we're going to rinse it in the sink. Take it. And boom. 1 minute, start to finish. Then you are going to take your cup and store it on the bottom layer of Kermit so it doesn't drip down on other projects. See how much wetness is on there? So on the bottom layer of Kermit, and you are going to store it like this so you can see your name tomorrow. And so upside down, name in the air so you can see it tomorrow and start all over again.